Hi, my name is Bill Imes.
And I'm Jane.
We came to this conference because we met Lance Walnew at a conference in Columbus, Ohio. And he came to see my wife at front of the auditorium. And then he came to me and he pointed, as he was introducing himself again, he says, "This is Linda McGrain," and told us that this is the guy and lady, the guy that trained me. We didn't know there was another trainer. We didn't know anything even about a trainer. And next thing we know, we met Bill and Linda. We had lunch with them, and then we felt really the need to come to this conference.
And this conference has really been helpful to us because it's identifying a number of issues and how we can make new life happen in our life, and then how can we move into greatness of what really our destiny is. And it's not until we get some communication articulated, get some new skills and how we can communicate more clearly and interact in our strengths, and also know in what areas are our weakness and how we can help each other, and then how we can give into other people's lives. And all of the anxieties that maybe we had to face in getting to dream again, and to think about where our future might be headed, and where we had accepted ideas or limitations on ourselves. We found out that that was not true, that we do have a destiny, and together we are going to have an impact.
Coming as a couple was quite revealing because there's many issues that we were trying to deal with, not only in our financial world, but in our marriage. And we have got many of those things answered. Came in here as a 3 on a scale of 1 to 10, and now I feel like I'm a 7, but I'm rising rapidly to a 10.
I can't believe you said that, because I did the same thing. Individually, we needed to kind of think about what our life was like when we started, and I would have said a 3. And now I say it's a 7. I say it's a 7 because it's just a beginning. I know that there are things that are out there to learn, and again, how we sharpen our focus and create more energy in what we want to do together. You know, you may be asking yourself, well, how would this program help me? Well, let me explain how maybe it's, or how it would help you. Then I would say, well, this is how it helped me. I wasn't sure I could dream anymore. I was feeling frustrated. I was feeling like I had some gifts and talents, but I didn't know how to put those together. I didn't have the skills to deal with that, nor some of the communication skills when speaking with other people to help get my point across. Also to find out that value judging is when I tend to make an assumption or listen to maybe a preconceived notion that I would have in a situation, and really I was limiting my possibilities. So for me, those are some of the things that can help, have helped me, and I think maybe they could help you.
I found that I'd lost a great deal of passion, I lost energy, I lost excitement for life. It seemed like I was going nowhere. I was losing or had hidden the skills that I thought I once had. And by coming to this conference, I've rediscovered all these new tools that equip me and will allow me to access not only my personal feelings, but help me ask the right questions in the right way to my wife, so that I can access her what she wants from me, and vice versa. That's exciting for me to have new set of tools. When we were first introduced to the 7 Mountain Ministry concept, was walking through my family room, and my wife said, "Listen to this, you got to hear this." And before, our reference point was the only way we could function in a Christian walk was through a church ministry of some sort that was programmed by the church. And when we saw what this program had, and as we've been to some trainings, now we're experiencing going outside that, taking the influence and the training that we're getting to go into the business world, educational world, government, business, financing, arts and theater, and all the different mountains of ministry. That totally excited us because now we know we have value in other areas that we work in every day, and that we can have an impact on people through our personal faith and other people that are in our sphere of influence. By attending this program, I have honed new skills, developed new skills, found out that there are skills that I never knew there were before, so that I can use those now to not only have a better awareness of myself, but be even more sensitive to other people's needs and thoughts, so that I can convey my message to them in a way that would be appropriate.
And sometimes we don't realize that we actually have a personal history, which comes from maybe our family, maybe our needs, maybe assumptions that we have. And sometimes we need to learn how to address those, interpret them, and then take that we find out and apply it to communicating with other people who may not have found that there can be truly a life in peace amidst all of the turmoil that seems to be going on now. So I would say that, we're all working somewhere, we're all having influence somewhere, and we can have an impact in all those areas. And we are shortchanging ourselves if we do not hone our skills for this particular time, so that when we talk to someone in different fields, we are able to connect and impart vital information.
And I just wanted to give both of you a chance to share what impact you would say that attending has made on you, your marriage, and how you do business.
I think it made an impact on us personally in our relationship, as well as on our business and how we work with other people. We learned a great deal about communication, we learned a great deal about ourselves, and we learned that this program can serve many, many, many people, and therefore we're sharing it with everybody we can.
And Nikki, what is it that makes you say that? Because you've been to lots of courses, lots of learning. What is it about this that makes it so special from your perspective?
It takes it to a different level. It takes it to a deeper level, and into the heart, into the feelings, into the background, into history, things that lots of people don't want to bring forward because it's easier to bury them. And what I witnessed was people bringing those out in front and dealing with them.
Well, for me, it was more of when I discovered what was holding me back for, many years. I realized that I was holding back a whole lot of loving that could have been expressed more deeply to my family, to my wife, to my children, and most importantly, it brought me to a stable, much more stable situation in my life, where my relationships with particularly my son, because I really love my son, and it brought me back to when he was a child, asking me to play ball with him. And in those early times, I was really, really busy, and that really, I lost a lot of that relationship with him at that early stage in my life. And so discovering that, I was able to be more open with him, and matter of fact, he has invited me on his sailboat to do things with him, and I really appreciate going through that course, because when I was younger, it was all about me, and what I discovered was, boy, it isn't anything about me. It's all about who I love. So, and the course had really opened my eyes and really brought me to the attention that, boy, if I don't make a switch in my life, I'll probably be hurting a whole lot more people.
So as you talk to people and you're saying to them, what's the value of coming? What would you say to people that are listening to you and they're deciding whether or not to come or not? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, when you come to this course, play full out. Do not hesitate, do not hold, because the holding pattern that we normally go into is, don't procrastinate, go for it. because you'll find something that you never would discover otherwise if you don't give it all.
There's something there for everyone. Doesn't matter how perfect you think your life is, or how together your life is, or how you believe your life is so wonderful. There are things there that you may have buried so deeply for so long that you don't realize what that sense of relief is once you let that go.
I'm Billy DeVoe. I attended Dana Grain's workshop class, and it was a wonderful experience. It helped me to get through the past into my future so that I could be a better me.
That's good. My name is Larry DeVoe, and this is my wife Billy DeVoe, as she said. And I think one of the things it's done for our relationship is it's brought us closer together as a couple. It's allowed us to search inward, and what we've been able to do more than anything that I noticed when we both got back from the classes, from the seminars, was we were able to communicate with each other about our past, about what happened in our past, both with our parents and with friends and family and so forth. And it shaped who we are, and understanding those things, we've been able to move past some of the difficulties in our own marriage and our own relationship. And with all the things we've faced in the last couple of years, it's made us stronger as a couple.
For me, it's been to ask questions, to really listen, to look in people's eyes and really be able to speak to them. Speaking to my husband when we ask questions for each other, to look him in the eyes and to spend that time with him and be interested in what he has to say.
And 5 years later, are you still noticing a difference?
Oh yeah. This has been like a tune-up for us. Don't you think?
I agree.
Just being able to come here and be exposed to Bill and Linda and their concepts and the teachings that he has been like a tune-up for me. It's given me an excitement and just a bounce in my step and hope.
Been a real encouragement.
I think it's given me hope. And you know, a man who doesn't have hope has nothing. And so I'm excited about life.
Yes.
If you want your life to change, if you are no longer happy with who you are or who you're connected to, or you want more out of life, then come to this program, and you will change in ways that you've never seen, and the people around you will change, and they'll become better because you've changed.
All right, share with me your names.
Kathy Jarrett.
Carlos Jarrett.
And you live in West Virginia?
Scott Depot, West Virginia.
And you decided that you wanted to do something to improve your marriage, is that correct?
She did.
She did. And on a scale of 0 to 10, Kathy, where would you say your relationship was before we started working with you?
0.
A 0?
Yes.
And what would you have said, Carlos?
A 0.
A 0. Together. And where would you say it is now, Kathy?
7.
A 7?
Yes.
And where would you put it, Carlos?
5.
A 5. So what's happened for people who are curious about what took place with the McGrains that allowed that to happen? What would you say?
They have gave us tools to make us communicate better, to learn how to understand each other better, and get the kind of responses we hope to get from each other.
And Carlos, what would you say you received?
All of the above.
And is it working?
Yeah, I've moved up 5 points.
Awesome. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of pain in your marriage, and there have been things you guys had to work through. In fact, Carlos, basically, she didn't tell you what you were coming to. She just sprung it on you and said, I want you to work with this couple to help you, and you were willing to do that. Now that that's happened, obviously at the beginning you weren't too happy that took place, but what would you say, where would you say you are now?
And I'm very thankful that we came. I'm extremely ecstatic about it.
And what would you say to somebody who's trying to figure out, could the McGrains help us? Could they make a difference in our life?
I can make a difference. I guarantee you can.
What would you say to those people to help them? Because they don't know. What would you tell them?
Give you a try. I mean,
Did you think?
Don't shut you out.
Do you think as much could have been accomplished as has been accomplished?
I didn't know what to expect, but no.
So it went further than you thought it could go.
Mm-hmm.
How about for you, Kathy? What would you say to people who are trying to figure out if this is the place to get help? What would you tell them?
If you really want your marriage to get back together, call them Green. They can definitely help.
Beautiful.
Because I think we're on the right road now.
Don't start again.
Known each other for 27 years.
Right. February the 19th.
What if you had these skills and tools when you first started? Where do you think you'd be?
On top of the world.
I'd probably be a bigger boss. We'd be fine. We'd be like, we'd be better off. I wouldn't. I'm gonna tell you, it would not, for my opinion, be a bad course or class or whatever you want to call it to take when you were getting ready to get married, so you could start off on the right step.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it just, it would be.
Yeah.
It would be. I think it would have been. We had a happy marriage until I messed up. I think it would have kept that from happening. I really think so.
Beautiful. Kathy, any other final comments?
I think a great wedding gift for people that are about to get married.
Yeah,
It would be.
that's so true. And so, several weeks ago you called me and you didn't know what to do.
True.
And so here we are at a completion of the first chapter and you guys making progress. Where would you say you are now?
On the road to recovery.
Beautiful. Any final comments you want to share with people?
Wish you the best of luck.
Carlos?
Same thing. If you want, I agree. If you want to get your marriage back on track or keep it together, call y'all. I mean, I'm 100% satisfied.
Thank you.
It's going to be a long road, but with y'all's help, we've got the tools and get the knowledge to do it.
Yes. I want to thank you, Vancia and Bill, for your willingness to share how attending the programs has impacted your life and your marriage. Bill, what would you say on a scale of 1 to 10 your marriage was like, and how was it going before you attended the program?
It wasn't going well. I would say no higher than a 2 or a 3.
And describe your marriage at that time.
There were problems with communication. We just were at different places, different expectations, different values, different wants and needs.
How long have you been married?
17 years.
And how many children do you have?
3.
So in spite of all that time and all the years and all the things you tried to do to create healing, it wasn't working at the level you needed it to.
No, and we've worked on our marriage. We've gone to marriage counseling and talked to our pastor and other things. We've taken time away together, so we've worked on it, but it still wasn't where we wanted it to be.
Vancia, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you have put the marriage before you attended?
I'd put it about where my husband did, 3, 4.
And how would you describe how it was for you?
Well, it was, unfortunately, we had really kind of built our own different lives. We still love each other and we're together, but we couldn't communicate and find that breakthrough that would cause us to be one. We were 2 people in the house.
So you initially, I think, was the one who said, I think I want us to come both together.
Yes, I did.
And he was willing to come.
And that was a blessing.
And then, where would you say it is today? On a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, we're about 7, 8, and we're working on our marriage still, but it's good.
And what would you say attending the program? There's a lot of people who may be listening to this trying to figure out, is this the place to come to help my marriage, or could this help me or my family? What would you tell people?
I'd say come. I'd say come because part of a marriage is 2 people being whole, coming together to make one whole. And I think the program is good for helping the individual get in touch with themselves as well as with one another. So it's really good for the marriage, it's really good for parenting skills and anything that would involve communication, conflict resolution, being in touch with yourself. I think that should come.
Bill, how about you? What would you say?
I second what my wife says. If you need help with relationships, with your marriage, with your children, with yourself, this is a place to get the tools that you need to help yourself.
Attending the McGrain program has helped us in our marriage by allowing us to connect at a deeper level. And by connecting at a deeper level, we've been able to share our feelings and our thoughts and become a better couple.
It's also helped me to realize the needs that my husband needs that I can sometimes fulfill it, but if I know what they are.
And what would you say you're walking away with now as a result of being here as a couple?
A more enriched and loving and giving of one another, and finding out what our needs are so that we can help one another.
A marriage that's connected and that is able to both speak truth and to help us understand who we are as a couple so that we can relate to other couples.
Hi, we are Chris and Kim from Wisconsin, and we are graduates of the McGrain program, and just wanted to share what we really received out of our experiences here. Before we attended, we were experiencing a lot of strained communication between the two of us.
I feel that we weren't as honoring as we could have been in our communication, and with that it was just building stress in our marriage to the point that in some instances I think either or one of us would have liked to just went our separate ways. And with the help of the program, I believe that we've gained and access tools to identify our needs and communicate them in a healthy way. And not only are we working on our marriage, but we also have a business. So these skills we will use not only personally, but in our business and with our customers.
The modeling of the communication skills is a real huge benefit to not only help us with our own personal skills, but obviously together in our marriage to really relieve the tension and strife that we were experiencing.
And so if you're thinking about taking this program separately, we at least, would you agree? Mm-hmm. Would suggest that you come together. Though it may seem frightening to share and bear be real with your spouse, it really is key, because one of you alone would come back and the other person would be blown away. So we just encourage you to come together, because you get to see each other grow in the moment, and you get to cheer them on and bring things back together.
That I never told my wife how I felt. I communicated my feelings, but I never really talked to her in a language that I knew was intended to hit her at a feeling level. I think there are moments in life when you do connect with people, but this was a challenging moment for me. I wanted to write a letter to Annabelle that would connect with her so that when I got off the plane, I would never, ever in my life say that I didn't share with her what I felt, how I felt, and how important she was to me. So I wrote the letter. It was a 5-hour letter. Kept writing. And when we were finished, I was wondering, do I even have the courage to read it? Imagine that, married, but wondering what she'll feel if I get that touchy-feely, knowing that she wants that, but knowing that I don't do that much. When we arrived in Newark, I decided that night I couldn't wait any longer. I had to read this letter while it was still strong. So we took another 5 hours after I arrived to sit up at night and talk. Imagine that, a husband and wife sitting up and talking for 5 hours, something we never do. And I just read one page after another. And there were times when I cried, and there's times when she cried, because I was not accustomed to going down that road. I never would have had the courage to make that journey if it wasn't for the time I spent with the man you're about to hear tonight. and the time that I've spent with his wife, as the two of them have modeled and worked with Annabelle and me in this area. When we finished, our lives were changed. At another level deeper than ever before. We could look at each other, we could be together, we could connect with each other. And as happens in life, somehow the conversation got moved to the point where I realized that I had given her a ring years ago that was not meaningful to her, because it was a diamond that I originally bought for someone else. But the engagement broke, and I felt it wasn't God's will for me to be with that woman, and so we broke up. And I rechristened the diamond and gave it to Annabelle as an engagement diamond. And it was years now. I've been 13, 14 years married. Beautiful marriage. I never knew how she felt about that diamond until the words came out of her mouth, and it was unconscious. She said, "That ring does not have any meaning for me." And when she said that, I said, "Well, what kind of a ring would have meaning for you?" And she said, "A big ring." And at that moment when I realized I had not only touched her in the emotional realm, but I had touched her in the financial realm. And so I gulped when she told me that she really had a ring in mind and that she didn't know how much it was, and I told her she was worth whatever it was. And so she has that ring now. But the meaning of the ring, unlike other gifts I would have given, it wasn't a compensation for the time I didn't spend or the things I didn't do. It wasn't a choked up way of saying, "I love you, here I would prove it." It was a tangible consummation of a communication that has been layering over years and is now coming to a crescendo, so that we're living in a realm we never knew.
It's hard for me to believe, although I am believing more than ever, the words that you said you mean. It's foreign to be that much love, that big of love, and how you tell me you love me, and you just wrap the words around me, and it's sort of molding something about me. It's changing the way I feel about myself. And even when I look in the mirror, I look different to myself, because there's a different way I feel as I look at myself. So my own feeling tones change, and my own voice of my own brain to myself, because of the words that come out of your mouth to me.
And you've also attended with your lovely bride here. And what would you say attending the program has done for the two of you as a couple?
Definitely brought us closer together, because we've removed some of the baggage that we had that was getting in our way of our essence together.
And where would you say, on a scale of 1 to 10, where was your relationship before you came?
1. Yeah, about 1 or 2.
And where would you say it is now that you're leaving?
I can't imagine it's going to get better, but I believe it will.
8 or 9.
8 or 9. The way you found out about us was for your son, and your son had attended the program. And when your son came home, what happened then? What did you see with him?
Light in his eyes.
Hope.
And what did that make you guys want to do?
It made us want to come and have a change in our lives as well.
And so now that you have attended, you've also got another son that you want to invite to attend as well. How come you want all that to happen?
I want to share what we've gained from this, what we have together, and what we can have with others, primarily our sons right now.
And what would you say to couples who are trying to figure out if attending the program would help them, their marriage, their family? What would you tell them?
Come on and get it.
Proof is in the experience. It happens.
And is it worth the time, the energy, the money, the investment that you're going to have to make to get here?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, this is priceless.
Now, you've been more of a penny pincher person who kind of keeps the cash flow to yourself, right? What would you say to the penny pinchers out there that are trying to figure out, is it going to make that much of a difference? What would you tell them?
It's worth the money, every penny of it, and it's gonna be increased tenfold in your life, because your whole life will be benefited from it.
Well, here we have Aaron and Barbie Fisher. What would you say to people attending the program has done for you?
Attending the program for me has just given me a drive to learn. It has given me the tools that I need to continue in my life, to learn and how to deal with issues and work through things and just let it go, and replacing that with love.
Wow. Barbie, how about you?
It's taught me to open my flappers and to look other places for answers. There's a phrase that you taught us, I can't think what it is right now, that you can't keep on doing the thing you've been doing and expect different results, and you can't keep on listening to the same information and expect different results. And the concept that helped me most, though, I think, is loving myself and accepting myself. When I realized that I could accept myself, it blew my world apart. It did.
And what would you say to people who are trying to figure out, is this the right place to go? Could it work for me? What would you tell these people?
Do you want to learn? If you have a desire to learn and to go deeper, the money's nothing towards what it actually does.
What's it done for your marriage?
It has just totally changed the way we communicate and look at each other. And Barbie especially likes, she likes when I just give her a hug and during the day, and just little touches here and there that mean more to her than like, okay, now I have an hour. It's just a constant showing of love, just a demonstration, living the demonstration of love. And that has freed us to be much more intimate with each other.
Yes, it's definitely taken our marriage to new levels. Better communication, less value judging, especially on my part. So it's been great.
Hi, I'm Barry Wenger.
And I'm Lori Wenger. Before we attended the McGrain course, we were in a marriage that was dying. We were living together but doing our own separate things. But attending the course helped us to learn to...
Communication was one of the things that we were not doing, and we learned very well how to communicate and in-depth communication.
Learn how to show our feelings and make our marriage a solid one, a good one, and a loving one.
Anyone out there, if you're feeling any of these problems, you're feeling something that's not right, do something about it. Don't sit back for years and years and years and just, oh, well, that's good enough, because it's not. There's things out there that can be done to make your life a better place between you and your wife. Marriage is supposed to be a dual arrangement. And if you're not working it together, you're not married. That's all there is to it. And one place to learn that is here at the McGrain Center. Go for it. Don't say, oh, well, it won't do any good for me. I have news for you. If it can change me, it can change anybody. If it can change us, it can change anybody. Go for it.
I just encourage any couple that would love to have a lasting, loving relationship to take this course. It is worth it. And we know it.